Hello everyone. Today is Tuesday, June the 7th, and you're not going to believe this. Harry and Meghan should have been on the bus going to St. Paul's service instead of being in the car with their security. So I just saw this on Drop Bear, so shout out to her. Dan Wooten is speaking to Lady Colin Campbell, and let's go up and just have a quick listen to the video.
I also heard about that reaction from the establishment, but also the royal family towards them too, actually. A lot of people saying to me, look, everyone thinks it's Prince Andrew who's the royal pariah. Well, actually, amongst the family who believe that Prince Andrew is innocent, they view Harry and Meghan as the royal pariahs, not Prince Andrew. And ladies, see, it was so terrible that they didn't turn up to that event at the Guildhall. I actually spoke to one of the guests who said, because it's a whole selection of rooms at the Guildhall and various royals were working in various different rooms. And I spoke to one of the guests who was left incredibly disappointed because they had no royal in their room and they were told by organisers it was because Harry and Meghan didn't bother to show up.
Well, they didn't bother to show up because they...
Let me stop right there just 1 second. Can you believe that after going to St. Paul's for the service of Thanksgiving, that Harry and Meghan were supposed to be royals in one of the rooms at Guildhall luncheon? And so what Dan has just said, that he spoke to someone that was in a room and there were supposed to be royals in each of the different rooms, and that nobody showed up in theirs, and they found out that it was supposed to be Harry and Meghan. But Harry and Meghan didn't want to show up on the bus, so they jumped in with their security, purposely left 15 minutes late at Clarence's house so that they could make a grand entrance, and that's why someone walked them in, and that's why Eugenie and Beatrice and their spouses had to get up and let them go in the row. And I think even then they were shocked and thought maybe they would sit on the end. But so I guess that made them mad after all, because they were all wired and wearing something for whether it be Netflix or Archwell. And, and they kept adjusting Meghan's collar, and you could see the recording device in the front. And I've got tons of content for hours worth of video, but I will get that out to you this week. But this is just blowing my mind that they thought they were too good to ride on the bus with Zara Tindall and Mike and Peter Phillips and the rest of the royals and Princess Margaret's daughter. I just can't believe they did that. So they wanted to make an entrance, and they were trying to delay it so that they would be after everybody had went in from the bus, and then they can make their grand entrance, because they realized, we don't want to be seen getting off the bus. We've got to have our own private car. I would think that the royal family saw then that it was all about them, and it was all about them trying to get content, and that they, in their own minds, will not understand that they're just normal people now, and that they should have been riding on the bus with everybody else, the other royals, and not try to sneak in right before William and Catherine. Unbelievable. Let's finish listening.
Could not contain their rage when they arrived and they were booed. And their boos, they expected a possibility of boos. So they had their paid claque of supporters there to cheer them along, so that was sort of all right-ish. They didn't like that they were booed, but they walked into the cathedral and absolutely everyone cold-shouldered them in a way that only civilized people can do when they are cold-shouldering people. Nobody caught their eye. It was studiedly unnaturally polite, but freezing cold. And they realized, between the booing and the cold shouldering that they got from everybody, then And my understanding is that by the time they left, they were absolutely spitting bricks. And then the coup de grace, as far as they were concerned, was not only that they were booed, but while they were waiting for their car, that nobody would speak to them except Zara. Mike Tyndall avoided them like the plague.
And
He
Peter
made
Phillips.
absolutely sure he didn't catch their eye. There's Meghan speaking to herself with him 4 inches away from her. But I also will tell you, they hijacked that car. Did you realize they weren't supposed to be in that car? They were supposed to be in the bus with all of the third-tier royals. And the reason why they were 15 minutes late for the appointed meeting at Clarence House to make sure that they would miss the bus so that they would appear later, because you know processions are done in order of diminishing or increasing rank. So the least important will go first and the most important will go last, entering a building, and it's vice versa leaving the building. And they, realizing that they had been lumped with the never-wases so much as the has-beens, they decided that they were going to be late and miss their slot.
There was no way that Meghan was going to ride that bus after she takes private jets, and that they would have been safe and secure on the bus, but they, in their own minds, are above everyone else and think that they should be treated like working senior royals, which they are not. And now this explains very much why they did not choose to attend the pageant on Sunday and the party at the palace on Saturday, but they would not go to that luncheon immediately after the service at St. Paul's. Unbelievable. And this tells us why nobody showed up at their party. I wouldn't have anything to do with them, and it just goes to prove that William and Prince Charles are absolutely correct, that these two are not to be trusted. And I have a lot more that I'm going to tell you when I get my other videos made. But it was also said that there was a meeting with Charles and Camilla at Clarence House, and I believe this was sometime after that service, and they thought that they would have a chance to go over, according to Neil Sean, what they had talked about at that interview with Oprah and what the royal family had said. Well, the royal family didn't say anything. They just said that, what was it about varying that, in their mind that, the way things happen may vary. Sorry, I couldn't think of the exact thing, but he wanted to go over that and go through it point by point. Harry, do you not see that this is what your wife has done to you, has made you believe all of these things happen, has created a bigger sense of paranoia with you, that you really think that your family has said and done these things? If you'd have watched just the interview back, you would have seen what your wife said, and that she lied about when somebody had talked about what Archie may look like. This is just ridiculous. And how the newspapers that are anti-monarchy would give these two the headlines and titles like, they're far apart or how far apart. And Viscountess Julie Hitchingbrook would go on and say that, yeah, everybody just wants the rift to be healed from, between them. No, you can't until there's contrition, until they've apologized, until Harry and Meghan have made amends and told everybody that they're sorry, because they out and out told lies. So how can you expect any family to completely forgive them? They're there at the behest of the Queen and the invite of the Queen, not Charles, not William, and I don't blame them one bit, until they go down on their knees and ask for forgiveness and admit to doing what they did, to lying, how can they accept them back? And they're wearing wires and trying to have photographers and bring crews on, that the whole thing, they had to be stage managed just for these two to not upstage the Queen. And then, of course, Lilibet's picture comes out today, and I have a whole video on that for you too. But I'll see you soon, and just tell me in the comments what you think about this. Unbelievable. Have a great day, guys.